And oh my God, Ultron's back. And he's changed. He's evolved. He is a different variant, if you if you can believe that. So one thing you'll hear me talk a lot about, and one of the frustrations I have, one of the biggest frustrations I have about just America in general, is our healthcare system. No surprise, right? And there's a lot of things that go into that, where our food comes from, how our food is sourced, how it's grown, how it's harvested, how it lives, if it's meat-based. If you're talking about these kind of things, that all goes together, right? And then on top of that, you have an industry that is keeping you sick for profits, in my opinion, right? In my opinion, when those industries have been sued numerous times. They're actually they paid out some of the biggest fines in history ever, except for Alex Jones apparently owes like $2.7 trillion or something like crazy to these people. It's like, the funny thing about the Alex Jones stuff isn't that he has to pay a lot of money or that he's going to be bankrupt over this. It's that Jeffrey Epstein's victims couldn't get a piece of his estate. That's funny. I think the sale of the island, that should probably go to the victims of Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know where that's actually going to end up going, but you would think that it would be split up evenly, and his whole entire estate would to the credible victims of Jeffrey Epstein. But no, that's not how that worked. But yeah, Alex Jones got to pay people like $1 billion. Now they want 2.73 trillion. It's like getting comical. Anyways, I got the frustration with this. And one of the things that I'm really frustrated about when it comes to the American healthcare system is the commercialization of quote unquote medicine. So we have a profit incentive in everything that exists. Now, libertarians will say this is the best thing that's ever happened, and this is one of the things we fundamentally disagree on. More of a Bernie Sanders-y type person will say this all should be taken care of by the government, so that takes away the profit incentive. There's also holes in that. There's pros and cons to both approach. That's not what we're here to discuss. I think we can all agree that there was a bill, right, that was drafted. It said, hey, no more pharmaceutical ads on TV, right? You get that shit from your doctor. America's the only place that really does it. New Zealand has it as well, but America's the only place that does it the way we do it. They have a little bit more, I think they have more regulation of the way that's done. It's disgusting, right? But then again, what is it, like 75% of ads on TV are backed by big pharma. So you're talking about a lot of industries relying on that, right? You have the pharmaceutical industry, which relies on our disgusting food system to create sick people. You have a for-profit healthcare system that relies on said sick people to then make its money, because a profit incentive, fat, sick people are profitable, right? They're more profitable. I haven't been to a doctor and I don't know when. Doctors aren't making any money off of me. Oh, I've been to a surgeon, but that's different. I didn't get surgery, but I went to a surgeon. But you look at this thing, it's like, that's what we have to deal with, right? So it's not, if you just follow the money, follow the incentives, you can see how it's a completely systemic issue. When you think about advertising, it's like one thing to advertise on Fox News and MSNBC and CNN, who are all controlled by pharma, because that's where their ad revenue comes from. It's one thing to do that. It's another thing if you have Chuck E. Cheese, brought to you by Pfizer, right? Brought to you by Moderna, right? That's a different thing. That's a different feeling, right? Doesn't that feel a little bit different? So with all that being said, check this shit out. Marvel and Pfizer team up for COVID-19 vaccine advocacy comic starring the Avengers. Marvel and Pfizer team up for COVID-19 vaccine advocacy comic starring the Avengers. Now, we all know that Tony Stark has a heart condition. Is it myocarditis? Is it not? Is it caused by the vaccine? We don't know. But when we look at this whole thing, it's just disgusting beyond belief. Like the fact that Disney would even think this is a good idea. That this is like at this point, right? When we know what we know, when most people didn't get their kids vaccinated because it's a terrible idea, and this thing did not impact children in the same way, unless they were already very sick, which in that case, make decisions. If you're, disclaimer, make whatever decisions you think are best for your children. Now I'm going to speak freely. Kids weren't impacted by this. Like the idea that you're going to give kids a medical treatment to protect adults is disgusting and criminal. Like it's so bad. And then on top of that, not that that's endorsed by Fauci and these other like talking mouthpieces for big pharma, right? The people who developed the gain of function research that then led to this thing, allegedly, potentially, possibly. Who knows? Wink, wink. Now we've got the Avengers advocating for children to get vaccines. This is as disgusting as cigarette ads targeted at children. Like, it's one thing to put ads out there. It's one thing to make some money. It is a totally separate thing to cartoonize medical treatments and serve them up to children, man. I can't imagine, even somebody who's pro-vaccine can't think this is appropriate, cannot think this is appropriate. I mean, I'm beyond disgusted and I'm frustrated. I'm angry. It's just gross. So let's read through this. In Marvel's latest corporate promotional collaboration, Pfizer has commissioned the comic book publisher to publish a pro-COVID-19 vaccination advocacy story where the Avengers' efforts to save the world from one of their arch foes are equated to individuals keeping up to date with their shots and boosters. Okay. You're among everyday heroes. Let's see. It says, they know what to do to defend against COVID-19. Vaccinate. Together we can help protect ourselves from COVID-19. Communicate. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about the latest development in COVID-19 vaccinations, which if you have to get them all the time, they're not vaccinations, guys. Why are we using that word? Let's be real here. COVID-19 is unpredictable. Continue to take action against COVID-19 as it evolves. Continue to pay us. By the way, I don't remember the exact numbers here. We'll pull this up on the screen for the video version, but Pfizer just decided to increase the price of the COVID-19 vaccine as it goes to public markets so you can get yours. And their profit margins are insane. Insane. Crazy. I'm sure we'll see what insurance covers and what insurance isn't paying, what your out-of-pocket costs are. The whole thing will be a giant scam, which has been this entire time. And all with all the the Captain America liability shield. That's what this is. Don't worry, Big Pharma. You've got Captain America's liability shield. That's what you need. Yeah, fantastic. Let's continue here. Let's see. When Ultron wreaks havoc, the Avengers act as the first line of defense. People can help protect themselves by staying up to date with COVID-19 vaccinations. Again, there's the word vaccination.
You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Head on to Pfizer.com, blah, 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 to get a first look at Pfizer and BioNTech and Marvel's comic book, The Avengers, Everyday Heroes. You got Iron Man here, Thor, Captain America, Captain Marvel, Ant-Man. Oh, good. Paul Rudd's involved. Is that Scarlet Witch? Probably. Yeah. Fantastic. Good stuff. And then some just normal, everyday ass people down here. This is fantastic. So we continue here. We'll give away the plot. Spoiler alert. We're going to get into this. We've got a bunch of folks sitting around. And I read through this earlier in a doctor's office. And oh my God, Ultron's back. Oh my God, Ultron from the Avengers Age of Ultron is back. And he's changed. He's evolved. He is a different variant, if you if you can believe that. Oh, and they say, oh my God, he's only like 6 blocks away. The Avengers will save us. So the premise behind this whole thing is that the Avengers are the vaccine, right? So hear this out. Hear me out here. Let's zoom in here. Ultron keeps coming back and keeps changing and evolving. So the Avengers keep adapting and re-strategizing, and they knock him back again and again. The first time Ultron showed up, we had never seen anything like him before. That's the COVID alpha variant. It doesn't mention here, Grandpa doesn't mention here that whenever the variants increase, they become less deadly and more contagious. That's how coronaviruses work, right? So this guy is a science denier, but he's very excited about the Avengers/vaccine and how it's going to keep evolving as Ultron evolves. As we go down here, oh man, they use their combined strength to defend us. And I love this one part down here I really wanted to see. A massive development to share as the Avengers have turned the tide on the battle using some sort of ionized energy cannon, causing Ultron to flee the scene. Their ionized energy cannon is mRNA technology. Ionized energy cannon, and the kid says, as long as it works. Are there consequences of the ionized energy cannon? Did they blow a hole in the atmosphere? No, who knows? Who cares? As long as it works. And this little girl's going, ionized energy cannon, mRNA technology. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wow. Good times. And we have at the end, it says the Avengers are doing their part to help keep us safe. And now it's time for us to do ours by staying up to date with COVID-19 vaccinations. And here they are with their little Band-Aids on at the Avengers. You know, I think if you want to take this approach, right? You want to take this approach to marketing to children, the way you'd go about doing that, maybe you should go with the boys, right? Maybe Billy Butcher should be the one selling your vaccines, right? And you could do, because we already have it in the boys. You have compound V.
V24, huh? Marketing is still testing the name, but it's the future, Bob. One dose of this temporary V gives a soldier 24 hours of powers, give or take. And then they return right back to normal.
How stable is it?
Still ironing out the kinks.
And if it's temporary, that means the DoD has to keep buying doses.
Experimental drug causes intense side effects. That's what we need. We need Billy Butcher and the boys selling the vaccinations. That's actually more accurate, right? Bleeding from your ear, heart palpitations, potential death. That's more, compound V, V24. It's fantastic. It's good stuff. If you put that out there, then at least you're being relatively honest as you try to market to children. But this is disgusting, guys. I don't know what to tell you. I saw this and it like makes my skin crawl for one and just frustrates the shit right out of me. Marvel and Pfizer team up for COVID-19 vaccine advocacy comic starring the Avengers. How they thought this was a good idea, I have no idea. But it's gross. And this is just I guess it's just our reality now. I don't know. It's like Marvel Phase 4 was the worst thing ever, and Marvel Phase 5 didn't seem any better. And it's like this, and you're gonna add this in there too. It's like this is probably better than Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. I can say that. It has a better narrative structure than that garbage dump. Welcome to the world that we have decided is good because capitalism is awesome and we should all cuck to it at all costs. I want to share with you what it takes to create this kind of content. I have to sift through piles and piles of bullshit from political ideologues that are completely ridiculous and try and find the truth. I've got to go from the left to the right to the center, all over the place. It's exhausting. I'm losing my fucking mind. But one thing you can do to help me out and help my mental health is subscribe to this channel. Turn on post notifications, like this video, leave a comment, just something, please. I'm losing my shit and you're the only one that can help me. Subscribe to the channel.